Are you going to continue to have a bluesy influence in your music?
Yes and no. I mean, it's not. Zaruri nahi hai.
Okay.
Maybe who knows what happens tomorrow.
Because I'm a blues guitarist, basically.
Okay.
Yes.
I like blues. I mean, Chori Chori had a blues feel to it.
Yeah.
And
I've composed something for you. And tell me if you can use it in one of your rags. Do you guys have classical musicians? Do they have rag parties or something? If you could invite me to those.
we have like shows.
No, I mean like a rag party.
Party.
If you could play something on piano while I'm doing.
I think it's too moody for the kind of music I do.
That's my problem too. Like you, I'm also one of those artists who the world doesn't understand yet. But if I was in America, I swear to God, I'd be someone today.
Wow, I like that band.
So, can you do a few chords with this? Make me sound good, Abbas Ali Khan.
Okay, this is not good.
Abbas, could you play something that you really like? One of your favorites?
One of my songs that I always like to play on the guitars is Chori Chori. And जो इसके बारे में अच्छी बात है कि originally जिस तरह मैं अभी play करूँगा ये गाना उस तरह था. And then we went to the studio and we suddenly thought, okay, let's make it a distortion rock song. So the song was originally like this. Should I go?
Please.
Hold on. Please. Chill.
That was amazing.
Excellent.
Listen, I think we shouldn't even run the video. I love the blues, but this version was astounding. I wish, in fact, not to take anything away from the video, but I wish you had released it exactly like this. Okay, and one last thing. Why do you have a Marilyn Manson poster there?
I just like the feel of the poster because I personally like goth and I love vampires and stuff like spooky stuff. So
this had nothing to do.
It's a good art piece. That's all I can say.
Okay. So it had nothing to do with anything with the nightmares when you were 13 or something like that.
What about that?
You didn't want us to discuss it?
I don't know anything about it.
Okay, we won't say anything about that. It's personal, it's private. Growing pains, everyone has them. But anyhow, Abbas Ali Khan, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was great.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Take care.
That was a really powerful film. That was a film that, although again, the interpretation of any film is dependent upon both the writer direct intentions and the audience perceptions. I do happen to know that this film was made by a political prisoner in East Africa. And the symbolic imagery, I mean, it just touched me. It was basically about, leaving your country of residence, seeking refuge in another country, becoming a refugee. and always looking around, going into that little enclosed space where you think you're safe but somebody is still watching, that you cannot escape from persecution. Bands can create cult followings, and one of the greater bands of Pakistan is Mizrab. They did a huge reworking of Pakistan's classic Dil Dil Pakistan and made it into a heavy metal version. In fact, one fan didn't take kindly to this. He was so incensed that he brought out his own song, and he calls himself Miserable. So, let's see how Miserable does his take on Dil Dil Pakistan compared to Mizrab's Dil Dil Pakistan.
Dil Dil Pakistan is a classic song. Please don't screw with it, 'cause man, you really sound like ये कौन रोता है जैसे कोई खोता है, मेरे कान दुखते हैं जब भी मुंह खोता है.
Some animals are endangered out there today, beautiful but silent. They cannot speak against the excesses of man. An animal as beautiful as the leopard, strong, poised, almost noble in nature, decimated, in fact, nearly annihilated. We must do everything we can to protect our natural heritage. Of course, I feel sorry for this animal. I can't believe Corduroy did this. Corduroy, don't skin any more animals like this. There are very few of them in the world. And if you have to call yourself as anything, maybe your name should be Leopard Cub from now on. Leopard Cub and, whatever else you want. Corduroy, learn a lesson from this. Okay, and now we're with the band Corduroy in Islamabad. And they're an alternative band, an underground band. And we saw them perform yesterday a bit also, and they were great. So, could everyone just introduce themselves?
Yeah, my name is Eamon. I'm the drummer of Corduroy.
I'm Ahmed, the bassist.
I'm Sarma, the lead guitar player.
Moby, I sing. I guess.
Okay, I'm Ali. I play rhythm and Corduroy.
Okay, can you explain what Corduroy is about?
But music.
Yeah, I mean,
Mostly it's about-
okay. What is the? Why did you choose
play
the name?
rebellious music called
Okay.
rock.
Okay, the name itself, we didn't choose our name. And I guess we had a gig, our first ever gig, which we were
Prefer
supposed
to forget, but
Yeah, we were supposed to play, and before that we had named ourselves Rust.
Okay.
But that did not go with our image, because Rust sort of gives you, it basically makes you sound like a death metal band, But then there was this friend of ours, he was sitting and, he just spontaneously came up with the name Corduroy.
and the best part is it doesn't really mean anything. So you cannot take a lot of different connotations from that. So it's basically just cloth.
Right.
So you can't take it like it's not like
Because if you named yourself Flannel, you would be grunge then.
maybe
Or
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we made ourselves Leo types would be I don't know.
Glam rock.